Mr. Beheshti, what is this wall about? What are these faces of people, of beautiful people? What is it about?
These are the, as you said, beautiful people, beautiful youth, beautiful
Human beings.
human beings. Look, all of them young. The age is maximum is 30, something like that. That's Nikah. That's Sattar. That's Kian. These are all the people that Iranian regime killed. And this is just a drop of the ocean of 45 years crime of this evil regime against Iranians, and just part against Iranians, because they're killing not just Iranians, people from everywhere. But these are the people: Behnam Mahjoubi, Mahsa Jina Amini, Navid Afkari. Just are great people. And now we have too much under the execution death threat. We have death sentence has been issued for too much 2 weeks ago, and we are in a very, very dangerous situation with too much. And yes, if these people are here to remind myself and whomever are in this camp to see why we are here, why we are sacrificing our life, our normal daily life, to be here, live in the tent. Why? These people who gave their life for freedom, for democracy, fighting this regime.
What are the words saying?
This word, it's our principle. It says we are at war with our enemy, with the aggressor. We have to obey law of war at this time.
Can you say that in Farsi, please?
در جنگی تمام عیار با دشمن متجاوز هستیم. We are at war with aggressor. باید تابع قوانین جنگی باشیم. We have to obey the law of war at this time. People are not realizing this.
So what is the law of war?
The law of war, it's one of them is that you cannot sit around one table and negotiate with terrorists, with hostage takers. When you are at war with one group, with one system, the law of war says first you have to identify your enemy properly, and you have to know you are at war. If you don't act in the proper way, they are not there to talk to you. They are not there to negotiate with you. They are coming to take over. What do you do when the aggressor coming to your country, coming to your land, coming to your house to take over, to rape your sister, to rape your wife, to kill your husband, to rape your brother and kill him or kill her, kill your sister? What do you do when somebody attack your house? That's the law of war. I leave it to the people.
If you talk about war, war is between people with different interests or with different values. What kind of war is it, and who is on which side?
Exactly. That's why we have to choose side at this time. I think we are in the time of 1945, something like that. Before, in 1945, 1944, what was the situation? We are in this, of course, It's not really obvious now, but there are two values here.
Which one?
The Iranian regime,
Iranian regime or
Islamic Republic regime, uh, and the ones who are in that camp.
Yeah.
We are from one side. I don't think we can put China really in that camp, because China really think about their own benefits constantly. There are ways to negotiate always with them. And if they see the Iranian regimes and Russia going really crazy direction, they always withdraw. They differentiate themselves from them, because they only think about their benefits. It's not about their ideology. But mainly, we have Iranian regime and Russia at this time, they have an ideology, which their ideology is this: destroying our values of democracy, values of humanity in the West. Because there are two ideologies in Iran and in Russia, which they have a common interest. Let's start from the Islamic Republic regime. The Islamic Republic of regime, their foundation is Muslim Brotherhood. It's not surprising that Ali Khamenei, the leader of the Iranian regime, is the first person who translates Muslim Brotherhood's books in Farsi. So, and we are not revealing this. They are saying it in all their speech. The supreme leader of the regime and the top commander of IRGC. This is their ideology, which I'm going to say. Their ideology, their goal is turning and transferring our modern world, into Islamic State, to Caliphate.
What does that mean?
This is their ideology. They said Prophet Muhammad couldn't complete his mission and turn the whole world, entire world, into Caliphate. So we have to do that. Now we have the country like Iran, very rich country with all this wealth. We have to use this opportunity and complete the incomplete mission of Prophet Muhammad.
Yes, wonderful. But what does that imply for everyday life in people's life when they live under caliphate?
So this when it comes, look, they see this as their divine mission.
Yes.
You cannot what you are. Your argument, it comes based on logic now. But when you're talking to these people, logic has no any place in their argument. That's why Khomeini, he was saying, writing laws and constitution is not the job of man, of human. Only God will write laws. And we have all that in Quran, and we don't need any laws. That's why they did. So, is there any logic in this? No. But they are doing that in Iran. No one thought, maybe in 1977, I would say, 2 years before 1979, what happened in Iran, no one thought, if somebody told us in that time, in 2 years' time, they are going to hang people in the street because of having different ideology, having different political view, no one would believe that. But it happened. There's no logic in that. If somebody told us they are going to flog in women in 2 years' time in the different streets of Iran, or stoning women because of having a relationship with man outside of their marriage, or not wearing hijab or any of this, no one would believe that. Okay. No, this is not logic. Okay. But it happened.
Okay. There are some images you give us. Let's put it very plainly. What kind of values do they follow? Because what you describe, they might argue this is just the path to reach to somewhere. and we need to punish people because they don't follow um, God's laws. So, but what is their values they want to reach to?
There is no, from our point of view, there is no value because they see they don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in humanity.
So, what
Basic-
kind of humanity?
In humanity, they don't believe in the basic human rights that you bring with yourself when you born. That's what they don't believe.
So they don't give any value to an individual.
At all, at all. That's the thing. So there is so they said there are, you have to obey these laws that, sorry, so
You have to obey these laws.
you have to obey these laws because these laws comes from God. And we can have our discussion even about this, which they are using religion and God and all this as a tool to dictate what they have in their own head to people. That's the way of their dictatorship. The worst way of ruling any country is fascism. The worst system is fascism. But the worst fascism is religious fascism.
So you claim that they are using pieces of religion of Islam to reach to their total dictatorship.
Exactly.
Not just in Iran, not just in the Middle
No,
East.
in the world.
In the world.
In the world, because
That was the vision of Muhammad.
this is, that's what they say. That's what
they
they're
say.
claiming.
Yes.
So, because we don't have any evidence, and by following the life of Muhammad, I don't want to go through this stuff. We don't see it. I don't see it because myself, I am Muslim, but the the Islam that I know and I believe is not the Islam that they are claiming this is Islam. Of course, there are 72 branches of different Islam. Officially, I don't know about other in other definition, but this way that I believe, this way of this definition that I believe, which is, I don't create that, is the definition that has been explained by Rumi, the great Iranian poet Sufi, Hafiz, the previous king of Iran, King Muhammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, his father, King Reza Shah, so Reza Pahlavi. So this is the Islam that we are believing, which it says Islam should not have anything to do with the government, with politics. In the way of living of people. This Islam is the first principle of this Islam that we are believing. It should not have any interference in government, in politics.
So what's the use then of Islam?
It's only for the growth of each individual, only for themselves. Their kind of practice each individual have through this Islam that
So it's kind of
I
a
believe
yoga.
is I don't call it yoga. Yoga is another way of practicing on yourself, on your to grow. The Islam is the Islam that we believe. Hafiz talk about it. All these great people, Rumi talk about it. Is this, and not an accepting anyone. Christians, Baha'is, Dervish, Sufis, Jews, non-believers, is about accepting each other. This is the way, this is the Islam that we believe. accepting, tolerance is based of love, humanity, and acceptance. I don't even call tolerance. We should not tolerate anyone. We should accept each other the way that we are, and we are not. We should not try to change each other. This is the way. This is the Islam that I believe the previous king of Iran, they believed, and he was a proud Muslim. The King Muhammad Reza Pahlavi, he was constantly talking about the spiritual part of Islam, and he was constantly about that. He was Darwish, so he was Sufi, and he's that with evidence. So he was believing in the spiritual part of Islam, not this way. But this group, which they are in power in Iran at the moment, they are believing in turning the world into Islamic State. And they are very active about it. They have money. Just look what they done in the region. At least about 18 proxies, weaponized proxies they created. Each one of these proxies at least cost yearly about $100 million. Cost at least yearly. And they are investing a lot in their non-weaponized proxies in Europe and in America, which I'm going to talk about it. So, but their ideology is the first things that we have to be aware of it. Their ideology is to turn the modern world into Islamic State. The ideology of Putin regime at the moment, I am not revealing this. This is what they are saying themselves. If you listen to the Alexander Dugin, the brain of Putin, he says the Iranian regime believe ideology is Mahdiism. So they believe the 12th saint will appear one day, he's still alive, and will appear, and they have to prepare the world for the appearance of the Mahdis, and in order to do that, they have to turn the world into Islamic State. The Putin regime, they believe Katakhan, the figure like Mahdi, Katakhan will appear. So they believe in Katakhanism. So he says the Katakhanism stream with the Mahdiism stream, they can join each other. This is ideology. They believe they have kind of divine ideology, and they receive it from sky. You cannot talk to these people logic. There is no logic in their argument, in their claim. So that's why they are uniting. That's why I put China out of this game. But unfortunately, our leaders in West, they are not aware of any of this.